So I'm out here on the 790 again, and I've converted, is that the right word? Anyway, I've changed some things again. Around the stock version. This is the 2023 model, the China built CF Moto version, which, you know, isn't talked about quite so much, but it was a contentious thing. Been reliable for me so far, about 5,500 miles. I've made another change to it, and that was I have changed the suspension to the suspension of the Norden 901 stock. So now I've got clickers, I've got 220 mil rather than 200, and I've got the rebound and something else that I can click at the bottom, probably rebound, I'm guessing, here on the bottom. And this is my first ride out, and I've just given it a spin. I've also got the rally seat, which maybe I had in a previous video, but I'm getting close to, I guess, our territory with it. I'm kind of in between, of course. That's what the Norden is pitched at as well. But overall, yeah, the suspension is really good. It was like, it's really, I mean, it feels quite soft. Like there's a proper kind of a plushness to it compared to the stock suspension, and obviously leans more on the stand, which, I don't know, just now, like, leans quite a lot on a flat surface. Doesn't lean too crazy, so maybe I won't have to do anything about that. But obviously, if you give yourself travel, you're going to have a bit more lean. The seat height, it's like a fraction taller. I got the suspension for free. Big thanks to, Linton Poskett, a friend of mine, as it happens, sent me these all the way from Spain, which I really appreciate. And I was like, would I actually buy the suspension or change the stock suspension? Like, probably not. Like, you know, I think if you're doing all of those type of things, you may as well buy an R, because you're actually, you know, for the difference between each step, you know, you're getting a lot of upgrade for your money, really, when you start. If you're going to change individual elements, you may as well just jump, I think. And I never would have jumped. I wanted the cheaper version to start with. So I've been lucky enough to upgrade anyway. Although, like I say, so far, off-road and on-road, it's been, yeah, much more plush. I was a little bit worried the plushness would result in less bottoming out, or maybe a little bit skippy or something like that. But, you know, that's not what the Norden is supposed to be. So, you know, that's probably, you know, unmerited. And in reality, that isn't what transfers. I'm definitely able to carry a little bit more speed off-road, and it's just kind of soaking up. There's just a little bit more of a magic carpet feel to the bike, which is great. Yeah, it's kind of giving me maybe a little bit more confidence. Early days, like, I've only literally been on it 5 minutes, but sometimes you know, the first 5 minutes kind of is the right gauge. I'm not a suspension expert either, but still, you know, I still notice a difference overall. I've noticed that there's a little bit less kind of shock, if you like, going into my back. I've got a little bit of a bad back, maybe partly caused by this bike, over long journeys and things like that. This just feels like that plushness is helping, sending less through the bike and into my back when I'm sitting, which is, you know, a comfort factor of the Norden, I guess. Yeah, it's been yeah, I think it could really pay off as a change. So, like, I suppose from the market, you're not going to buy these, I guess. Can you buy these? I mean, maybe you can. Maybe they are a part. I suppose you could buy the Norden ones, like, as a replacement, and then put it specifically in this bike. You know, that would be, of course, valid. I don't know how much they are at retail. Probably a little bit expensive, all suspension is. So again, is that a worthwhile upgrade? Like, maybe not. I think, you know, this is a cheap bike. That's the advantage of it, if you like. So again, why upgrade it? Maybe. But I do think it has given me more thoughts on the stock suspension of the Z90. it is, I would say, a street suspension with a little bit of concession for the likelihood that you're going to take it off-road sometimes to do some things. For the type of riding I do, again, I've said before, I haven't found it hugely limiting. It limits your speed. I'm happy not pushing speed too much, therefore, kind of what's the problem if you like. But again, it is a little bit not harsh. Like, I think if you're a more experienced rider, you will bottom out the stock. I've been bottoming it out more as I've become more comfortable riding off-road over time, especially with familiarity with this bike combined. So yeah, maybe you will start to find its limits, and that again makes you think about these things. But I do think that it's a little bit closer to maybe a Duke suspension. I don't actually know if the Adventure 790 is the Duke suspension. Again, I would have kind of assumed not, and they probably tuned it slightly differently in the internals. But yes, it is. Is this too soft for the road? Like, again, no, I wouldn't say. Like, you're making a slight trade-off of like the sharpness of the bike and maybe that sort of, again, street sharp feel, which is really fun on this one. But I like the fact that it's a little bit more plush. I like the fact that on off-road or gravelly, stony, potholey, whatever, that makes it doesn't really feel like anything's coming through the bike. Especially if you're on the pegs, you're not feeling anything really, but you've still got the feel. You've still got that kind of off-road heritage. So again, it's been fun to try out this change. But yeah, I think it's, like I say, maybe somewhat unique to me, but maybe interesting to other people that are still thinking or still purchasing the 790. I still get some questions and comments about certain things, and I'm always happy to answer any questions anybody has that are considering buying or potentially thinking about modding some of these things. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I've rambled for quite a while. I'll probably cut this video down a little bit as much as I can because I don't have a huge amount of buttons to throw in. But yeah, thanks for watching, and catch you. That was actually really good, better than I expected. Just coming down a route that I've done quite a few times, and the downhill typically made me a little bit nervous because of the change in terrain, and again with the stock suspension, like when you would hit some of the bigger rocks while changing direction, it was a little bit skittish because it was going into maybe a little bit, the sort of the allowance for the rebound maybe wasn't there. I don't know, I can't speak technical to these things, but basically that time I was just rolling down, not really thinking about my speed too much, changing direction quite confidently, and the suspension wasn't telling me to do anything otherwise, which I think is a difference. I was carrying more pace, which is something I've always had to generally scrub off thus far. So yeah, really interesting. I think that's actually been a genuine upgrade on the suspension. There's about 20 kilograms difference, I think, between the Norden and this model. So in a way, maybe you're getting a little bit more out of suspension on this one actually as well because you're saving a little bit of weight. That is an interesting aspect maybe to that upgrade as well. But yeah, really impressed with that actually. We'll see how it goes as I keep going. Maybe it's a false kind of realization, but we'll see. I'll take it on some harder and harder stuff and see how I feel. Awesome.
Yeah, I do. Oh yeah, look at that. Whoa. So much better. flow with it. Just riding the wall so well. I mean, as an amateur rider, I didn't, think I would get much out of a change of suspension. But yeah, it really does make a difference. And like, there's no chatter. It's like on this pebbly stuff, you're just feeling nothing at all coming through. Really cool. Some decent pedals.